All right, let's get right into it. If you've ever had a business idea, one that you are really excited about, but you never did anything with it, what was the reason? You probably told yourself, I don't have enough money, or maybe the idea just isn't perfect yet. But what if I told you the number one reason people never start has absolutely nothing to do with any of that?
So this is the whole argument from Simon Squibb. He's a fascinating guy, a serial entrepreneur who went from being homeless at 15 to selling a company for millions. And he is on a mission, a big one, to prove that the single biggest thing holding us all back, it's just a set of psychological barriers. Fears that we've been taught are real. And his proof? Well, it starts with something kind of weird.
Yep, you heard that correctly. 33,500 pounds for a staircase that literally goes nowhere. Now, on its own, that quote sounds completely absurd, right? But believe it or not, it is the key to understanding his entire philosophy.
So yeah, that's the big question. Why on earth would a multimillionaire spend that kind of money on a 4-story, derelict staircase? It seems totally crazy. But it turns out it has a very specific and, honestly, a pretty brilliant purpose.
And this is where it gets so cool. He didn't just buy a staircase, he totally transformed it. He installed a simple video doorbell, and just like that, he turned this useless structure into a public stage, a place where anyone, at any time of day or night, can just walk up, press a button, and pitch their dream business idea directly to his audience of millions.
So this staircase, it becomes this powerful physical monument to his core belief. The world is absolutely full of incredible ideas. It's living proof that the problem isn't having an idea. It's the fear of taking that first step. For him, it's also a deeply personal reminder of his own past, sleeping in stairwells, and it's a symbol that even a staircase to nowhere can be the start of something absolutely huge.
Now this idea, it flies directly in the face of one of the biggest psychological barriers we all have to deal with, the fear of failure. And it's a fear that comes from a story we've all been told, a story that almost feels like it's designed to keep us from ever even trying.
You've heard this one, right? This is the statistic that everyone throws around. It is the ultimate dream killer. It's the reason so many of us just think, why should I even bother? It makes failure feel like a statistical certainty. But is it actually true?
Well, the answer is a huge, resounding no. It's not true at all. The real data shows that the survival rate for a new business in its very first year is 77%. That's right, the vast majority make it. Now sure, the numbers get tougher over time, but that whole 90% failure thing? It's just a myth designed to paralyze us with fear.
So here's the crucial shift in thinking. Squibb argues that we need to completely reframe this. Failure isn't some final verdict on you or your idea, it's just compound learning. Think about it, every mistake, every single setback, that's just data. It's an asset that you're building over time, kind of like compound interest, that makes your next attempt that much stronger, that much smarter. Look, this isn't just some motivational poster theory. It's a philosophy that was forged in real, genuine hardship. And to really understand why this mindset is so powerful, you have to understand where it comes from. I mean, this timeline just lays it all out. Just try to imagine being 15 years old. Your father dies, and you suddenly find yourself homeless. You can't even get a regular job because you don't have an address. So what do? Well, out of pure necessity, he started a gardening business with nothing. He just started knocking on doors. That journey from sleeping in stairwells to selling his agency for millions is the ultimate proof that this philosophy actually works. And this, right here, is the fundamental lesson he learned from all of that. Having no money forced him to be creative, it forced him to be disciplined, and it forced him to be relentless. It taught him that what's in your head is infinitely more powerful than what's in your bank account.
Okay, so we've broken down the fear. Now let's get to the practical stuff. How do you actually start a business when you literally have nothing? This is what Squibb calls the zero capital playbook.
First things first, forget that romantic Hollywood idea of recklessly quitting your job and taking some blind leap of faith. No. The smart way, the strategic way, is what he calls the build-a-boat methodology. You don't just jump into the ocean and hope for the best. You build a vessel while you're still safe on the shore, preparing for a strategic and safe crossing to the other side.
So, what's this boat made of? Squibb breaks it down into 4 essential planks. Number 1, get the skills you need. Learn on someone else's dime while you still have a steady income. 2, build your network. Find mentors. Find allies. 3, stay flexible. Use mind maps that can change, not rigid business plans that break. And finally, number 4, build a financial fighting fund, so you have a runway when you're finally ready to make that jump.
And let's just hammer this point home again, because it really is so counterintuitive. Starting with nothing forces you to be hyper-focused on what your customer actually needs. It builds the foundational muscles of your business, making you efficient and resilient in a way that a lot of well-funded startups just aren't.
This whole playbook is built on a few simple, really tactical principles. Your office, your infrastructure, it's a free social media account. Your resources, they're at the library or from online mentors. Your goal isn't just to start a business, it's to build a brand that people actually want to be a part of. And the most important rule of them all, start now. Stop using waiting for funding as an excuse.
So we've covered the psychology, we've heard the incredible origin story, and we have the playbook. Now the focus shifts. It's no longer about Simon Squibb's dream. It's about yours.
You know, it really all comes down to this one simple shift in how you think. We've all been taught that passive little mantra, good things come to those who wait. But honestly, that's just another excuse to do nothing. The real truth, the principle that underpins this entire philosophy, is that good things come to those who take action.
And if you take action, you won't be alone. This isn't just one guy's idea anymore, it is a full-blown movement. His mission is to help 10 million people just like you, start a business. The goal is huge, to fundamentally change the way we think about work, about purpose, and about our own potential.
Which brings us right here, to the end. We've seen that the biggest barriers holding you back, they're internal. We've seen that failure is just learning, and that starting with absolutely nothing can actually be a huge strength. The only question left is the one that really matters. So, what are you going to do?